So we are discussing about shift in demand curve in today's class. We are starting from here. Why there is a shift in demand curve, we will be understanding now. See, shift can happen if certain things change. So let's see. Here we are looking at a movement of curve because of some change in the market which alters customers' perceptions of how attractive a particular product actually is. Anything included in the list above is able to do this, and it results in different levels of demand at a particular price. So at one particular price, if the demand changes, then we can understand that there is a shift in demand curve, right? For example, movements along a demand curve are caused by changes in goods price. See, when there is a change in price, we expect movements. But if there is a change in demand caused due to some other factors, so shift in demand curve are caused by changes in any of the other factors which affect demand for a good other than its price. Let's say income. So due to change in income, as we discussed, like that day we were discussing, right? Like quantity, let's say this is the price. So you can understand that at this price, at some price, okay, previously the quantity demanded was something else. What was this, right? Maybe let's say the income levels have increased. So previously for 10,000, when the salary was 10,000 rupees, when the salary was 10,000 rupees, we were only buying one chips packet and the price was 5 rupees. Price was, let's say, like 100 rupees. All of you, are you following? The price of the chips packet was 100 rupees. The income is 10,000. At 10,000 income, if the price of the chips packet is 100 rupees, we were buying one packet. Now let's say my income levels have increased, it has gone to 1 lakh. Now for the same price of 100 rupees, I'll buy 10 packets. Can I say there is a shift in demand curve? Previously the demand curve was going from here. Now the demand curve is passing through this point. This is D1, this is D0. Come on, tell me yes or no. Did you understand?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Yes. Now, so a change in fashion or taste will also alter the demand for a product. Yes. For example, if it becomes fashionable for middle class households in UK to drink wine with their meals, expenditure on wine will increase. So this can also cause the demand for a product, some fashion or taste. If at all that has become a trend or norm in UK, then the prices for wine will also go up. There may be passing crazes such as roller blades or skateboards. Like middle class these days, you go to apartments or something, like people are like more often using this. And taste can be affected by advertisers and suppliers trying to create demand for their products, like Maggi. We all eat at home rice, pulse, dal or whatever, okay? Pulses, lentils we say. Good preparations can happen with this, but many of the youngsters or the kids, they want to consume Maggi. Maybe some of you are also maybe interested in Maggi, right? Why Maggi when everyone knows it's not good for health and not a good thing to consume? The advertisers and suppliers are trying to create demand. They invest heavily in the advertisement when they do for Maggi. So henceforth it attracts people and people want to buy. That creates demand. Like in fact, kids sometimes at 5 p.m. they see, after coming from school, if they see Maggie's advertisement, they start crying, I want Maggi today. That's it. However, the effect of product becoming fashionable will be that demand for it rises without its price having to be reduced. So here we saw the price is same 100 rupees. I'll write it neatly. but the demand has of course changed from 1 packet to 10 packets. Need to change in other factor, that is income, right? Looking back at the figure above, what specific actions could cause the curve to move to right? What specific actions could cause the curve to move to left? See, I can say if the income levels are increasing, let's say the income levels, the income previously was 10,000, right? And now the income is 1 lakh, hence the demand curve has shifted rightwards. If the income goes to 5,000, then the demand will shift to leftwards or not? Come on, tell me yes or no. You will
Yes,
demand,
sir.
you'll demand almost no packet of chips, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the activity answer also I'll show you. You can just have a look through. So what they are saying, shifts in demand curve. Just look at the curve for a second. So the curve was like this, right? The price was here and quantity demand Q0, quantity demand Q1. Here you have taken price, here you have taken quantity demand. And the curve was like the price was same, but at some price at the same price your demand was Q0 at your when your income was 10,000 rupees, and it was Q1 when your income is 1 lakh rupees. The packet chips packet is of 100 rupees, but you want to buy more packets. First you wanted to buy just 1 packet, now you want to buy 10 packets, right? So just look at the curve for a second. As it moves to right, the amount demanded at price P has increased from Q0 to Q1. So I need not say, already I have explained everything. I think you understood that, right? And if the price, if the income goes to 5,000, your quantity demand becomes 0 almost. So you can read that, have a look through it. We are moving to the supply, next topic. Supply. See, whatever is readily available and whatever can be sent to the market is nothing but supply. Whatever is readily available with us and whatever can be sent to the market immediately is nothing but supply. Supply, the quantity of good that existing suppliers or would-be suppliers would want to produce for the market at a given price. So some amount of goods or quantity of goods that some suppliers who are already available in the market or some suppliers in the future, they want to produce for the market at some given price is supply. Yeah, whatever the manufacturers are ready to supply in the market after producing the goods at certain price is supply. So let's say there is a manufacturer X company, they are making certain product. The product is like ABC. ABC is the product name. So they are making this product and that means they are producing it. They are producing it for whom? For the market. That means people at some given price. Let's say 10 rupees. So nothing but X company is supplying this into the market. And you should know that supply curve should always be going upwards from left to right. Okay, it should be going from left to right upwards. Like the difference between the supply curve and demand curve is when price increases, demand decreases, but when price increases, the supply should increase. That is the thing. At higher price, the suppliers would want to supply more. Okay, you can see here, as the price is increasing, the supply is also increasing, and that has been shown with in the form of a curve. You see here again we have price in the y-axis and we have quantity supplied in the x-axis, and you see when the price was 0, nothing was supplied. When the price moved to 100, 10,000 units are supplied. When it moved to 200, 20,000, 300, 30,000, 400, 40,000, and it's going on now. Okay, so it is upwards. Have a look to this. We'll move forward. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Okay, let's move forward. There are certain factors which can affect the supply. Price obtainable for the good. Of course, price has an impact on supply. When the price is increasing, supply is increasing. When the price is decreasing, the supply is decreasing. Prices of other goods, of course, that can also have an impact on supply. If the prices of other goods are increasing, that means the suppliers would want to supply more of that. Price of related goods in joint supply can also have an impact. Cost of making the good, of course, can drive the prices up. Changes in technology, that can also decide whether the supply should be technology is obsolete. If you produce less, you'll supply less. If you produce more, you'll supply more. There can be a shift in supply curve as well. So a market supply curve is the aggregate is nothing but total. We are speaking not about the individual supply curve, not related to a particular individual, but we are discussing about the market supply curve, which is nothing but the total of all the supply curves of individual firms in the market. There are 10 firms. So 10 firms supply curve will be behaving in the same way. It will be left, right, upwards always. So if we take all those 10 firms and we take the supply curve of those 10 firms, let's say the curve is a very thicker one, representing 10 supply firms curves. It makes sense, right? So that takes into consideration all the firms supply curve. And then a shift in market supply curve occurs when supply conditions change. That is, I have already explained, the price will always be the same, right? In case of demand curve also, we have seen the shift in demand curve. The price was same. Other factor, that is the income level, has increased, and then we saw the shift in demand curve. So in the same way, at one constant price, due to changes in some other factor, okay, the supply curve can also shift, right? The quantity supplied can change, correct? So here we can see something like the price is the same, but the quantity supplied has increased from one particular quantity to another quantity. So how come it is possible? Let's see. The figure above shows a shift in supply curve from S to S1, S0 to S1. A rightward or downward shift of the curve shows an expansion of supply and may be caused by factors below. So the supply has increased, the supply has increased. That means the quantity supplied was 10 units, and the quantity supplied is 100 units. And how that has happened? In demand curve, I gave you an example, but let's see the textbook version. I can give the example here also. So what has happened? So a fall in cost of factors of production, for example, reduction in cost of raw material inputs. Yes. So the raw material prices have gone down. The cost has come down. Because of the cost has come down, the production will be more and the supply will be more, right? Yes or no? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Because they may earn more profits, right? Fall in price of other goods. The production of other goods becomes relatively less attractive at their as their price falls. See, when the price of other goods is falling, it becomes unattractive for the suppliers to supply that, because they see when price increases, supply should increase. So fall in the price of, so here also when the cost of raw material is decreasing, it gives they at lesser cost, if they can make, let's say something they were making at 10 rupees, they can make it for 7 rupees. So they were selling for 12 rupees, now here also they can sell for 12 rupees, here 5 rupees margin. They are very, it is very, it looks attractive to them, right? So they'll produce more and supply more. Fall in price of other goods, the production of other goods becomes relatively less attractive as their price falls, and firms are therefore likely to shift resources away from goods whose price is falling and into the production of higher price goods that offer increased profits. So they always want to produce. So let's now not let's like forget about cost of factors of production like land. See, factors of production are land, labor. So this is one of the factors of production. Let's say the labor is very cheap now, or material is very cheap now, then advantage, right? More profit. If one of the goods prices are falling, they will try to shift to some good whose prices can be high and they can make maximum profits, right? They'll try to supply that more. Technological progress, very good technology, they can produce more at less price, and that is production capabilities are increasing, that leads to more supply. Improvements in productivity or more efficient use of existing factors of production. That means they are using the factors of production in the best possible manner and trying to reduce cost everywhere, because technology is good, labor is more, like they can use labor, they can get labor at cheaper price, labor cost is very cheaper for them, raw material, less wastage, all these things can make them more profitable and they'll supply more, right? That means if they can produce in bulk, very high production or bulk production can make the cost very less, and then they can add more, they can add margins and they can earn high profit, so they'll try to supply more. So if it is, if the shift is rightwards, it is increase in supply. If the shift is leftwards, it is decrease in supply, right? A shift of supply curve is a result of changes in cost, either in absolute terms. So cost is one of the factors, this is other than price. Okay, if this changes, the supply curve can shift. So we might see a leftward or upward shift in supply curve if the cost of supply increases. This would mean that at existing price, firms output will decrease and less will be supplied. I already explained you right now by making a diagram here. Here, if they are supply, if the shift in supply curve is seen, the cost is less, they will supply more. If the shift is leftwards, the cost is more and they'll supply less. Just give a reading to all this. I'll move forward. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Tell me, I'll scroll it down. Okay, we'll move forward then.
Done, sir.
So upward shift could be caused by what? Increase in cost of factors of production. See, this is the normal curve. This is downward shift. This is upward shift. Already discussed. Upward shift, less supply because of the increase in cost of factors of production. If the goods are costly for them, they'll supply less, right? And it becomes less attractive for them to supply. And taxes, if it increases, if the taxes are high, if the subsidy has got reduced, then it makes them less, it makes the things less profitable for them, so they'll supply less. Okay, what is equilibrium price? Equilibrium price is nothing but the price at which the quantity demanded this is equal to quantity supplied. So if I say this price is the price at which the quantity demanded, okay, sorry, this is supplied, sorry, the quantity demanded here, this is the quantity demand, right? And the quantity supplied is same, or I can say the point at which the demand curve, the demand curve meets the supply curve. Okay, so that's called equilibrium price. The price at which the quantity demanded, that is 100 units, is the demand, and the quantity supplied is also 100 units. The price at which this is happening is, let's say, 5 rupees. So can I say this 5 rupees is my equilibrium price? Yes or no? So at 5 rupees, the demand from the customers is 100 units. They wanted to buy 100 units if the price is 5 rupees. Okay. Okay. It's not like they want to buy 500 units. They want to buy 50 units. At 5 rupees, the customers are very satisfied to buy 100 units of some product. And the suppliers are also equally very much willing to supply 100 units at that price only. They don't want to supply more. They don't want to supply less. It is very feasible for them to supply 100 units at 5 rupees. So if both are at harmony, that is equilibrium price. The price of a good at which volume demanded by customers and the volume business are willing to supply are the same. We usually find equilibrium price by plotting both supply and demand curve on the graph and noting where they cross. Here is what. The point where the lines intersect gives us the point where the amounts produced equal the amounts that people are prepared to buy. And so there is no shortage and no excess production. That's what suppliers are not producing more, and the quantity demanded by the customers is such quantity whereby they will consume the entire quantity. They are not going to, like feel that it is less for them or more for them. Of course, this equilibrium won't last forever. As we pointed out before, the curves will move as any number of factors come into play. And as the curves move to right or left, the equilibrium price will move either up or down. That's what. This equilibrium is not going to continue forever. Okay, it is like, what are they saying? The line, as we pointed out before, the curves will move as any number of factors come into play. Yeah, more factors have influence and impact, the curves will move, right? We already seen that there is a shift in the curve only due to other factors except price. If there is changes in price, there can be movement seen in the curve, but shift in the curve is only going to happen due to changes in other factors, not price. Vaishnavi, are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Now, and as the curves move to right or left, the equilibrium price will move either up or down. That's going to happen because the curve is shifting. The equilibrium price is also not the same. Now, changes in equilibrium price, we are going to see that, and we are going to see what is going to happen in these curves. Okay, this will give you a good idea regarding this concept. Equilibrium price, supply and demand must adjust following a shift of demand or supply curve. See, they are saying that three things must adjust if there is a shift in demand or supply curves. What three things should adjust? equilibrium price. See, if like the shift in demand is seen due to changes in other factors. Shift in supply is also seen due to changes in other factors. And accordingly, when these two shift, the equilibrium price may also have to adjust. So there are four possibilities therefore, which are illustrated by the following diagrams. Increase in consumers' incomes. So what is going to happen when the consumer's income is going to increase? The price, if it goes up, what is happening? Please understand. Consumers increase in consumers income. If you see that consumers income was 10,000 rupees, now it has gone to 1 lakh rupees. What we see, they will demand more quantity or less quantity? More quantity. We are seeing the shift in demand curve, correct? Yes or no? So yeah, so we are seeing a shift in demand curve, that is from the like at Q1, at price P1, that is the price 10 rupees for the chips packet. The quantity was one packet, 100 rupees. When the price was 100 rupees, the quantity demand was one packet. The income has increased for the consumers. So now at the same price, at this same price, here we are going to see the changes, right? At the same price, you don't see the quantity is increasing, of course, but not at the same price. The price is changing, right? Yes, the equilibrium price is changing because we discussed right now the changes in demand we discussed, right? The shift in demand curve, the shift in supply curve may also change the equilibrium price, correct or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So as the income has increased from 10,000 to 1 lakh, of course the price here is 100, but the price is going to change to, let's say, 150. We are going to take, there's an increase in price. When the price increases, the supply will increase or not? Yes or no? Yes, the supply curve is increasing. There is no shift in supply curve here. We are not seeing any shift in supply curve. Rupees per packet. The quantity demand was one packet. At this price, the quantity demand was this, okay, and the quantity supplied was also the same, right? The quantity at price 100, the quantity demand is one packet and quantity supplied is also one packet. So I can say that at this price it is equilibrium price. Please tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Now, now the incomes have changed and the price have also increased, but at increased price also they can achieve the equilibrium price now. That means as the income levels have increased, that will definitely change the, like, that will shift the demand to rightwards, but supply is not increasing, right? Supply is the same. Why it is not increasing? We discussed supply will increase when cost of production, when the cost is less for them when they produce. We have seen the factors which has influence on supply, right? The supply will change only if these factors are changing. Improvement in production technology, rise in factor cost, okay, or less, the factor cost is less, cost of production is less. The supply will change in those, it will change if those factors will change. Demand will be changing when incomes will change, right? So now when the price is 150, the quantity demanded by the people is, let's say, 5 packets, okay. and the quantity supplied is also 5 packets. So again, this is the point at which we are getting the new equilibrium price, right? That is what? 150. So previously 100 rupees was the price and the quantity demand was 1 and the supplied quantity was 1. Now the price is 150, the quantity demand is 5, quantity supplied is 5. So now did you understand this thing? Hello?
Yes, sir.
That's what. And product becomes unfashionable. So what happens when product becomes unfashionable? Higher, when income is higher, why will they take unfashionable product? They won't take. So what is happening? The demand will shift downwards. That means when people were ready to pay 150 for some product which was fashionable, they are ready to pay only 100 now. So supply will also decrease. Why supply will decrease? When the price decreases, supply decreases automatically. And when the price when it comes to fashion, people will not compromise. Higher income level people will not pay, will not be willing to pay good amount for unfashionable goods. They'll pay less for unfashionable goods. So here what happened, at this price the quantity supplied was 5, but at 100 the quantity supplied is 2. So the demand has come down, right? And the supply has also come down. Previously this was the equilibrium price and now this is the equilibrium price. Correct or wrong? Yes, the price was this and this. Tell me, did you understand or not? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Vaishnavi, did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Please tell me if you've got any doubts. I am asking last and final time. If you have any doubts, I'll explain once again. If no, I'll move forward. Now yes will say that you don't have doubts. No will say I'll explain once again. Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we'll move forward. So increase in consumer income prediction, rise in market price, rise in quantity supplied, and product becomes unfashionable, fall in market price, falling quantity supplied. Here what we can see, improvement in production technology, the supply will be more. Okay. So improvement in production technology, supply will be more, demand will be constant, because demand won't change due to improvement in production technology. People won't show demand when the technology is changing or the technology is high tech or something like that. So demand is not going to shift, because this is not a factor which can shift demand. Demand can be shifted only due to changes in income levels, or there are certain factors which are determinants of demand. Improvement in production technology is not a determinant of demand. So if the technology is good or high tech, the quantity supplied from 100 it increases to 200, because they are willing to supply more. Okay. And what happens due to improvement in production technology, the prices, previously it was costing them 100, now it is costing them 50, right? Yes, that means previously they were making for 100 rupees, now they are making it for 50. Yes. When price decreases, demand increases, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And
sir.
since it is good technology, due to the changes in technological factor, the supply may also increase. So at this particular, we are seeing equilibrium price at these 2 points. Previously it was 100, the price was 100 and the quantity demanded was 100 and supplied was 100, and now it is 50, demand is 200 and supply is 200, right? Now it is in equilibrium shift. So price has decreased, quantity demand has increased, and supply has shifted. Okay, because they are producing at less and they can sell at higher prices to get more demand, to get more profits. Rise in factor cost, supply will be less. Okay, and the demand will be also less. Okay, that will increase the prices. So when it is costing them more, they will be willing to supply less. Okay, and if the prices increase, the demand will decrease. So previously this was the price, now this is the price. Like let's say it was 100 and now 150. Previously For 100, the quantity demanded was 200. For 150, the quantity demand is 500, is like 100. At this price, the quantity demand was equal to quantity supplied, but now due to the change in this factor, it has got shifted. Now at this, the quantity demand is equal to quantity supplied, right? Now, so fall in market price, rise in quantity supplied, rise in market price, fall in quantity supplied. We have seen that. Let's move forward. Price regulation. Government might introduce regulations either to set a maximum price for a good. So see what happens. Government at times what they do is to help the farmers or agricultural community and others. The farmers will set some prices that everyone should get a minimum price. Perhaps as part of anti-inflationary economic policies. So they will set some maximum price. They'll keep a cap. So the supplier should not be selling beyond that. Otherwise, it will become very, unaffordable for people. To set a minimum price for good below which a supplier is not allowed to fall. So this is from customer's perspective that customer should not be paying very high prices. And this is with respect to the suppliers, they shouldn't be getting less than some price. Farmers and all, they should get minimum selling price. However, if we consider the setting of maximum price, if this is higher than equilibrium price, its existence will have no effect at all on the operation of market forces. But if the maximum price is lower than the equilibrium price there will be an excess of demand over supply. Yes. So what happens if this price is higher than the equilibrium price? Equilibrium price is like say 10 rupees and it is like 15. What government is setting, right? Its existence will have no effect at all on the operation of market forces. No problem. This is the equilibrium price, right? When quantity demanded, how much units is equal to quantity supplied. But if this is the case, if the maximum, if let's say the price is more than the equilibrium price, then it's good, right? Supply will increase. If maximum price is lower than what equilibrium price would be, there will be an excess of demand over supply. So the low price attracts customers but deters suppliers. So supply will fall unless there is scope for market to exist outside government sanctioned channels, so-called black market. That's what. So now what happens if it is very low, the suppliers will be not willing to supply, right? So then what happens? Supply will fall unless there is a scope for market to exist outside government sanctioned channels. That means now they'll be searching for some other places or some other markets where they can sell their products at higher prices. That is black marketing they'll do. That means they will hide the product, they will not release it in the market, and if anyone wants, we will give you, but you should be coming through back channel. That means they will not be like releasing that in market, like gutka and all, this gutka and pan masala banned by government. They are still selling through black market and at 5 times the price. Okay. So we will do this elasticity tomorrow. Last and final topic. We will wind up this chapter by tomorrow. We'll put a full stop. It's a big chapter, understood fact, and a very dry one. So till here, whatever you have done, please finish it off. As I promised to send the paper, I'm sending it immediately right now after just canceling the call. Okay. Just a second. So we'll be going into business organization structure in the next class. That is Monday. How many are there? 5th chapter will be done by tomorrow. 6th by Monday. Yeah. Now I have
Sir,
holiday.
can we write the test and send you tomorrow?
Yeah. That you can do. That you can do. Just I'm sending the test. No problem. Okay. You can write me and send. No problem. Okay. Thank you.